So for drawing part, I'm going to start with just a regular pencil and pen, an eraser we need to have. And I'm not really fan of dark line in my watercolor. I would like to have smooth and light surface, but we can do drawing a little darker and then erase most of the darkness later. So if I divide my paper in half, it's exactly connect to the nose. Even it's easy to choose like that. You can divide it like this to have an idea about the half of your paper. That's mentioned, this line is okay for top of the nose. I just mentioned it, I don't draw it now. And if I go in a top part, imagine this is the nose, the top part, I would like to place the top of the head. Most of the part is the face, a little bit of space we need to keep for the background. If I divide into 1 through 3, it's a 3.5 for the face and then half for the top part. So I choose this line here for top of the head. And then a little bit space we need for the left side. Like that. I just keep a little more, not less. I just imagine this is good for the left side of the face. And then even it's not visible where finishing the face and then where is the body. I just imagine this is the face, for example, to finish. And then here is the bottom of the face to make the square. Just mention a little bit of square shape. It's easier to do simple shape first and then move on for details more. Then I want to connect this line together with one C curve here. This is the other side of the face like that. I'm not seeing any ear on that. The other side is like this. Then connect this part as well. With the squareness, we want to make a little bit circle shape. And then for this part, I just go with the big circle shape, big curvy shape like that. I'm not seeing any details of the curvy hair that we have. Just simple, big, place the ears. It's 2 triangle shape, a little bit on the side of the face, on top of the head. So one should be placed here on this angle, the other is here. So just a nice triangle shape, but it's not straight line. It's just nice C curve. So like that. For the other side as well. Even always we can do erasing because the line is not really dark. I prefer to have the light color and the light line to erase it easily and fix the shape always. If I divide the line like that, the top part and the bottom part, I try to mention that the top part, which is the forehead part, is a little longer and then just a bit smaller. If I just measure it, so yeah. This is exactly half, but I keep that detail, small part, a little longer for the forehead because of the position that our cat has. So this is the place of top of the eye. This is the nose. And again, back to the bottom part of the face. If you compare this part exactly on a half is the bottom of nose place. Something in between, not exactly bottom part, something in between. But it's give me an idea. I just draw this line. This vertical and horizontal line it gives me an idea exactly place the eyes. So I mentioned this pointy part of the eyes start exactly on this line. So I can go like that. One line on top, this one. I'm not going round shape, just one line. This is point and then go like that. And for here with nice C curve, connect these two together. This is shape of eyes. One of the eye, actually. I know it's a little bit curvy, should be. I will do that later by paint. A nice, gentle oval shape is the pupil inside the eye. And we see that if we draw this line, it's exactly passed from the center of the eyes. This eye, actually, left eye. So I imagine, so this is the top of the eye should be. Then come down. With nice C curve, connect these two together. And then draw a nice oval shape as a pupil inside. Triangle. If I divide it like that, it's exactly on the center of both eye, like that. So we can draw one line here to know where should we place the nose. And just in a simple shape, draw nice triangle shape. We need to shape it like angled C curve like that and mention about the two hole here. We'll do it later by paint. And tiny line to nice line like that, separate the mouth. After you finish and you feel that you're happy with your drawing, just we need to erase this line that we add as a vertical line or horizontal line for making drawing for ourselves a little bit easier. So please erase those lines. So my rest of the line is still dark, and I don't want to see this really dark part in my drawing because I would like to make this nice fairy hair on my cat. And even I go back and then return a lots of this line close together. So I don't like to see them in my finishing project. Because of that, just if you have eraser, a little bit make it lighter. For the orangey color, we need to have brown. And we need to have like a reddish, orangish, like that. If you have burnt sienna is reddish brown. It has red already inside. But if you don't have it, don't worry. With any brown you have, like dark brown, I go with both to show you. This is a dark brown, like burnt umber. If you add a little bit red, you can make it equal this one. Just a little bit red into the brown. Give you reddish brown. But the cat that we have is a little moved toward orangey tone. So if you have orange, you can add a tiny orange tone. If you don't have, you already have red. To add it, you just need yellow. I recommend yellow ochre is better. Add a little bit yellow ochre. And you know, in watercolor, we don't use any white or black. The reason is, if you use white in your paint to make it lighter, you make your paint a little bit dull. And for some part, for example, for here, I keep the paper white. I'm not adding any color in this part. Or we can use acrylic or gouaches on top. For the whiskers, we will do that. And then for black, I don't recommend to use black because after it gets dry, it show you the flat surface. So it's not good to do that. We mix brown with blue. In another section, please bring the brown. I'm not using the gray color. I just go mixing the brown and blue. If you have ultramarine blue or cobalt, go with those. And then I'm going to start first layer, very washy and light with this warm color. Diluted, hold the hair of brush into the paint. Start from the ear, most of the ear, and then always you have the napkin or rag in your hand to touch it like this. To control the amount of water, start from the ear to cover whole the ear with this light color. And then the other ear as well. It should be really light because when we add more layer to make a little bit movement on top, those layers is darker. If you feel that your color is not much light, clean your brush. Again, touch this part and use napkin to remove. Turn my brush easily everywhere on top. So light. And then with this movement, bring it down. A little bit of space we need to keep as a white of the paper, bring it down. Come and bring it down like that. And then just play with your brush stroke. And I mentioned if you feel it's light or dark, you can control this amount. Clean your brush. I think it's a little dark here. So I just clean my brush, touch napkin. Again, back to this paint and try to touch it to lift up some paint and make it a little bit lighter. Same as here, I'm going to add a little bit tone on this part of the ear. I keep some part of the paper be white because our cat has a little white on top. Sorry, I need to bring this here too to show you. I go with the base of the ear here as well, and you see here is a little light. I need to back and then lift up some paint. And here we have a little creamy color. Mine is so dark now. Again, if I want to make it lighter, I just clean my brush. Try to touch this watery brush stroke to remove and clean it by napkin. This technique helps you remove some paint that you would like to make it even lighter. And the reason I recommend to go with 100% cotton paper is this technique easier to do. I don't say the other paper doesn't give you this chance, but so if you see our drawing is like that, the face of our cat is a little bit round and fat. I imagine this part is here. But we need to bring a little bit this into the face. That part is the grayish part. So I'm going to move on with the grayish color now. I'm not paying attention to this circle-y shape that I have. I start with this part, which is the place of viscous. Just to patch. Make sure your color be watery and so light. Add some tone here. If something happened with the napkin, fix it always. Shape it, fix it, remove it. Just by touching the napkin. Not to rub it, just touch it. Pressure, and that absorbs. I just bring it here, add more drop of water into that to make it runny. Just turn your brush everywhere to make it a little bit more diluted with paint, and then add a drop of water, make it so runny like that. For the first wash, it's okay to be runny. Turn your hair off brush like this, and then very gently, this time we need to be really gently and keep the space between this body and then the background. Even I just would like to start from this part, which is easier to start from one side. And please use whole the hair of brush, not just the tip like that. The tip of brush give you just a line, but diluted whole the hair, use whole this hair of brush, lay down on a paper, move it from the side. And so clean you make the edge of the face for the other part. Here was a little bit like convex and concave. So the angle is like that way. Now I move like this. And this way. For some part randomly, it goes inside a little bit and then go outside. Like that. And then move on to the end of At the same time, you can use tip of brush or lay down, use whole hair of brush. I'm happy with that. I don't need to do anything else. So keep it like that. Move on. Another ear, I just start from here, go down and a little bit, shape it like that. And the other side, a little bit movement like this. I just want to randomly play with the body of my cat. Add a little bit patchy brush stroke to shape it. Depend if you see your blue is a lot, you can add more brown. Control always the amount of paint and water with napkin. You see it's a little bit dark now. I touch with the water, wipe it with napkin. With less water on my brush, I just try to back and a little bit remove this part. Just back and forth and make the painting interesting. Same green that we have for the background, we can use inside the eye. So I add a little bit water. For small features, a small part, I don't recommend to use a lots of water. Just a tiny touch of water would be okay. And napkin, touch it to control the amount of water. Just cover whole this part with the green. It's okay to use light and dark. I mean, the light and dark is a little bit, control the amount of water to shape the eyes a little bit in different value. And the other one as well, I'm going to do, first of all, the green color because it's so bright and lighter. And then I add the darker color around. my green color is not affect and get dirty. So this is the eyes that I would like to have. Now for a dark color, we have two options. If you have gray color, like Payne's gray, you can go like that. It's like a black. It's really dark. If you don't have any dark black color or gray color, we just use the dark brown, same as this color that we make. If you go with dark brown here, with no, I don't say no water, just with very tiny water, very less. And then the ultramarine blue, you see, it's already give you really dark color like that. It's the same as this color that we already use for this light part, but the water make that lighter. With no water, it gets really dark. We don't need any water. You see, it's hardly see any water in that. And very gently, so gently, I'm not using the top and around. I just start from this curvy part, very gently. And so slow, adding a little bit dark color around the edge of eyes, especially on the bottom part, and make a little point toward down. Draw the pupil. It's already give me like a feeling of or red, like pinky tone like that. I'm happy with this color. And just a little bit add a tone. Touch the napkin, less amount of paint. A little bit gentle color I would like to bring here on the nose. Not really sharp red, a little bit better to be bright and light. So after you shape like that, I'm not adding dark color now because it's wet. So I need to wait a little bit, get dry, and then I'm going to add. The top of the nose is nice to be a little look like a heart. It's not so straight. One curve here, another curve here. Look, top of the heart, how it's like that. It's better to be like that one. Look like that. And then clean the brush. The same color that we use for the top of the eyes is like a grayish color. Very light gray color, or even mixing of brown and blue, very light. I just draw the narrow line here. Make the beautiful tiny mouth for the cat, and even here a little bit darker. The shine inside the eyes, I mean this one. This tiny light color on the inside. And then the whiskers is narrow line around that. You see it's busy with this narrow line. And it's on top of the watercolor. So we need to, because watercolor is so transparent, we need to bring the opaque color on top to help it sit on this light color. And the opaque color that we can use is white in acrylic or white in gouaches. So if you have those, I recommend to go with the pointy brush like that and take a gentle, tiny touch with this narrow brush. Very gently come on top of the eye and just one time add nice like oval shape or like a line on top of the eyes. So gentle. And on this part as well. This is heavy paint. It's opaque. It can sit on top very nicely into the white color with narrow brush. I just take my brush like that, straight to the paper, not lay down, because I would like to have narrow line. Just one time, draw the line. Sometimes it's easier to have watery brush, even in acrylic. Just one time, move, one time, move. And if it's fading somewhere, I recommend not to back and fix it because your line gets thick. So just go another line close to that.